Where do politics factor in, since we went there a little bit with the trade strategy? Where do politics factor into your forecasting for next year as a risk factor? There are some who say it's the biggest risk going into 2020, how things shape out.
I think it's a huge risk. I mean, it really is, because if you look at where Democrats and Republicans are, it's sort of night and day. So I think if Trump wins, you're going to continue having sort of less regulation. I think the market will view that as being positive. I think if you have somebody like Senator Warren who ends up winning, who's just a nominee, forget winning the election, I think the market will start pricing that in, and the probability of her winning. Look, I think if she's president, market's down 20, 30%. I mean, it is not good news, and I think people are going to lose huge amounts of money in that, and that's going to have a huge impact on sort of what's going on.
What do you make of where we are with this whole conversation that has now gone public and gotten personal? And she has a new ad running on this network. I think it's fair to say attacking people like you, Wall Street people who've made a lot of money. You're a Democrat, and yet you say the market could go down 30%.
Right, look, at the end of the day, I'm a Democrat because I sort of believe that what we should be doing is helping others, right? Will that cost me money? Yes. But I've gotten lucky, so that's fine. At the end of the day, I think someone like Elizabeth Warren, if she wins, it is what it is, but the market will go down. I mean, it's abundantly clear that that's what's going to happen. So if people want to see, it's not me, it's people want to see their net worth. If you're middle America and you want to see your net worth, if you're an investor in the stock market, drop, the question is, does the market drop 20% or 30%? It's fine. People have the right to vote and do what they choose and whatever they think is best for them. I just think it's going to cost people a tremendous amount of money.
What do you think is the mechanism for that? Does it happen like the day she wins, or are you saying
he's even saying the nomination
profitability of companies over time declines because of new regulations, new taxes, and it's a slow grind lowered by 20%?
I think you will end up seeing that if she's the nominee, that the market is then going to have to start pricing that in. And I think you'll start seeing just the market going down. And then as new regulations come in, look, it's not going to happen overnight, but I do think that is a grind, and whether that takes 6 months or a year, but
so
that'll
happen. So then Super Tuesday could take on a lot of significance for the stock market.
Yes, it will.
I think this is a little bit dangerous, and I think we'll probably all agree it's too premature on this. But the thing is you could make an argument that if she's the nominee, she's so polarizing that the middle goes the other direction for the reasons that you're pointing out. Right. I mean, it's not just us on the desk. It's not just the investor class that says, wait a second, if we ban fracking, we're going to put 1 million people out of work. CapEx is going to go down. Consumption is going to go down. That doesn't require, our collective brain power to come up with that. I think the nomination of her, if it happens, which is a long way, you point out Super Tuesday, might actually have the opposite effect. We won't know until we get there.
Or her bite is not as bad as her bark, like almost every other candidate who's ever run for election as a Democrat. And she can have that leeway to tack a little bit further away from the Twitter left and maybe be more of a centrist on certain things, and maybe the market gets over some of its worst fears.
What would you, I mean, in some respects, maybe you end up if she's going to find out, in some respects, what you've said, right? People like you end up in commercials, as I said that she's doing. What are you going to do? You find yourself in a commercial, a new ad for Elizabeth Warren attacking you, along with these other billionaires.
It's life. I mean, what am I going to do?
But what do you make of the whole just Warren versus Wall Street deal? It's resonating, obviously, or she wouldn't continue to do it.
I think it resonates with her base. She has every right to say what she feels. She has every right to end up trying to get her base to vote for her. I think that's what makes this country great. So I don't have any issues with what she's saying. All I'm saying is there's repercussions by doing certain things, right? And that'll end up, I think you'll have definitely more regulation. You'll have things that the market will not view as being positive. And if people don't care about that, that's fine. Right? There's going to be some cost to all of this. And I think that cost, if somebody wants my opinion, I'll tell you that costs 20%. It may be greater. I mean, but everybody's free to do what they want. If I don't have any issues with people disagreeing with me. I just think at the end of the day, there's going to be actions for that, and there's going to be a cost for that.
Are you thinking about the conversation that's being had now about the future of capitalism, the haves and the have-nots, and how to bring people closer together?
I think there's a lot that we should be doing.
Like what?
Look, one of the things that you should be doing, the hardest thing that people have, look, 60 to 70% of all businesses in the United States are small businesses, right? So how do you end up increasing that? Well, the biggest problem everybody has is access to capital. Why are we not creating sort of a jobs bank where we can end up, people can go and borrow money so they can grow their business? Why aren't we investing in people? Like, at the end of the day, it's fine. You want to tax me more? I've got no issues with it. I'll follow whatever law. I'll keep working. But giving somebody an extra $500 or an extra $1,000, I think that's very meaningful and that's very helpful. But what you really want to do is, how do you turn their life around? And the way you turn somebody's life around is give them a high-paying job. Give them a job that they're proud of. That's what we need to do. And that's how you sort of lift everybody up. But everything else is just like, here's one thing. Why don't you just cancel all the student debt? Give people the opportunity to at least now go invest in other things. There's a cost to that.